station, playing it with my girlfriend. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, nice, nice. Katie and I have been playing some Old Republic. I was on the Old Republic edition last night with Scott Johnson and Willie Dills. You should go check that out, everyone, if you haven't already. I believe it was episode 13. It's up on iTunes. You can go type in the Instance tour and you'll find it. Anyways, I believe.
Oh.
Nope. Did we lose him?
We lost his audio. It's not just.
But you're here now.
I'm here now. Yeah.
All right. Get rid of Garrett. Time to bring in Octane.
That's right. That's right. He'll come back in, and let me go ahead and add myself in here, and then we'll be good to go. Looks like Garrett's coming back in. I'm gonna get rid of myself, so you guys won't be able to see me. You're not allowed.
Okay. Wait, you're keeping that mysterious man behind the curtain thing going on.
That's right. Oh, maybe.
Alrighty. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Alright, I'm
yes,
still Horizon. God, one of these days.
No problem. Give me 1 sec here. I'll be ready to go. Sorry about that, guys. Just takes an extra second.
Not a problem.
Are we still live at the moment?
We are live right now to the stream, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, we should be. I mean, let me go ahead and refresh here. If you guys just want to go ahead and check that out.
I'm sure you already announced these exciting guests we have lined up for the next couple shows.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Already did it. Done deal at the top of the show, as per usual.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'm excited to be having... so we are having Matt Fink back next week.
Yes.
That'll be awesome. Did you see him in the DRG video?
No.
Like, he was in... he was in my DRG. Like, they're starting the match, they're like, all right, here we go. This is the GSL. And then there's Matt Fink screaming with all his might. Still rocking the beard that he said he wasn't going to rock anymore. So
I hope he never gets rid of that thing. It's
That's
such a
awesome.
badass.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
All right. So it is time for Ion Esports. Let's talk about this little tournament. It happened over the weekend, and there was no controversy whatsoever leading up to it. It almost flew under the radar. We want to talk about MLG Winter Arena.
yes.
Yes. So Kyle, I haven't talked to you at all this week. Did you see it?
I watched it until they said, poor people, please leave now.
What?
I mean, that's basically how it went. I mean, they said it as best, as respectfully as they could.
It's true.
But they were like, all right, well, that ends our free stream. Coming up next is Idra versus someone. And I was like, nah, darn it.
That's that. Well, that's fantastic. Yep. I was lucky enough to steal somebody's login who may be in the show with us right now and watch the finals because I had a wedding this weekend. And by the way, a big shout out to Ben and Abby. Ben, if you don't know who he is, he created our forums, he created our website. He was such an instrumental portion of StarCast in the beginning that it wouldn't really be what it is today without him. So Ben got married this past weekend to my good friend Abby. So big, congratulations to them. It was a wonderful wedding, and I missed all of MLG because of it.
I feel honored then. I'm like the only one who got the opportunity to watch the tournament this weekend.
Yeah, I watched the finals though. Because this is the interesting things about the finals. Who was it? It was DRT versus Marine King Prime. And anyone who listens to the show knows that Kyle's favorite player is DRT, and you know that my favorite player is Marine King Prime, and you know that Kyle plays Zerg, and you know that I play Terran. So this is like, if Kyle and I were both really good, this is what a face-off would be like between him and me. So I was really stoked when I heard that. Oh my God, the finals of Marine King versus DRG. Oh man, I'm going to log off of Twitter. I'm not going to touch it until I have time to go watch the VODs and steal someone's account. And I did, but freaking MLG screwed it up anyway and didn't have a dummy link for Game 7. So as I'm watching Game 6, I'm like, oh, Marine King wins. Thanks, MLG. Way to ruin the surprise.
Well, no good.
If I can comment on the tournament, if you guys don't mind, I was a big fan of EG during that tournament. Not only because we have them on the show a lot, but just because they are an American team. And Huck came out in day one with like amazing games that were like under 15 minutes, both games, and put him in farther on in the winners bracket. And then the last day, Huck, I'm sorry I have to say it, but Huck failed. he literally like pulled out these like crazy builds, which were really, really bad. And so I really got turned off about the winners bracket. And I have to admit, I was more interested in the losers bracket the entire tournament than the winners bracket. Pretty much two of the biggest showboats in there that were really entertaining to watch. DRG for one. I mean, he was just, the games he had were amazing. And then Naniwa, believe it or not. Naniwa playing against, for example, Nesty. Naniwa playing against Leenock. I mean, those were huge games from the past where, you know, those were big rivals for him. And they were some of the biggest games, I believe, from MLG Winter Arena.
Awesome. Sweet. So yeah, I guess we already spoiled it. I should have said spoiler alert, but yeah, Marine King won. So I was so freaking stoked about this to finally see Marine King win something.
But the production value was good. Like, I like the whole city in the background thing. However, all of the players were all wearing their coats all the time, and all I hear is about how your fingers have to be warm, and they all look like they were freezing.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with that. And like, and they had, you know, their camera on them as they were playing, and they had their portraits in there. They were so poorly lit you couldn't see them. So it's just like, well, what's the point of this?
Well, I think that was the whole effect. They were trying to do like that shadow effect, because if you noticed, it was kind of just like a red kind of blur, and then also like a blue blur over each one of them, and so it kind of just was like the silhouette. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I think it was sad to the whole effect, to be honest.
I just think it looked stupid.
Now,
you couldn't see anything.
Now, I don't know, since neither of you guys got the opportunity to watch the finals, so they had 4 streams going at once. So they constantly had 4 games, 4 casters. Well, when it came down to the semifinals, quarterfinals, and finals, it was something I've never seen by any tournament yet. So they took stream 1, and they made that, you know, your Artosis and Tasteless. Then they took stream 2, and they brought on people like Grubby to come and cast it, and people like Tumba and Anamisi and stuff like that. So you got a complete other caster's perspective on stream 2. Then stream 3 was DRG, and stream 4 was Marine King Prime from their perspective on their player cams. So if you were watching the quad view, you had so many possibilities available to you for those matches.
Nice.
Yeah, it was the production value. I watched it the entire weekend. You know, I just sat back, relaxed, and watched it. And it was probably the best tournament to date by far that I've watched production value, because there was no dead time, there was no commercials or anything.
Nice. Very nice. Well, that's. I know at MLG Orlando you had your choice of Day9 and Husky or Tastosis to cast your finals. Yeah. They did that, you know, once before, but
yeah, with the red and blue stream. Yep.
Yeah, by no means to the level that you just described. That's awesome. I was going to ask, you know, if you felt that your $20 was worth it.
I would have to say yes, and I mean, it depends. I'm financially in a position where or $20 is easy. I mean, I would spend that going out for beers for the afternoon. So to me, the $20 was worth it. In all honesty, I'm a big enough fan of MLG and StarCraft. I would have paid $50. Now, granted, that's not across. I know.
Don't tell them that.
Now, granted, that's not across the board for a lot of players, because a lot of people aren't in the position I'm in. But $20, honestly, it's well spent. I mean, it breaks down, if you were like myself to watch it the entire weekend, to 25 cents an hour. How can you not justify that? Now, granted, some people I spoke with were like, well, what if I only want to watch it for 5 hours? Maybe MLG is going to like allow you to buy hours or buy minutes. You could buy 5 hours worth for, you know, this amount.
That sounds terrible.
Sounds dumb as hell.
And people are like, this game's good. Tune in now. Like, spend those minutes.
Like, I want the old school arcade freaking quarter thing plugged into my computer. Like, get him in there. Shit, I dropped one.
No, you got to go like down to like the MoneyGram place and buy those like phone cards.
I have my preloaded MLG card.
Did any of you guys see, I know it's kind of sad, but that recent movie in the past year with Justin Timberlake called Out of Time, where like everybody has like a digital timestamp when they're 25?
Oh yeah,
that's what
they have to like steal time from other people by killing.
It was decent, putting aside it was Justin Timberlake, but it reminded me of that because everything you bought with time, like to buy a drink was time, to go to the dollar store would be, you know, 99 minutes per se or something like that. So it just made me definitely think of that.
Yeah. I didn't want to be exposed to that movie because I'm already a frugal spender,
Okay.
and I want to live a long time. So
Oh.
I can just see this going horribly. Like, this is nightmare mode.
Yep.
But long story short, $20 well spent. I was listening to MLG Adam, I forget his last name, on State of the Game, and he was discussing how MLG is actually getting rid of the gold membership, and they're going to be completely reworking their memberships and everything. Because I don't know if you guys knew, you pay for your MLG membership for like $25 a year to get like all the content, but yet they wanted gold members to buy the arena pass for an additional 20. So
Yeah, that was a very big deal.
And they said the gold membership is broken. They're like, we know it's broken, we understand that now, and we're hoping to fix it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I love how Blizzard has to balance the game and MLG has to balance their memberships.
I mean, that's the problem with any membership system, though, is they do last years or some period of time, and things are going to change over the course of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked for Borders, a failing company that signed people up for year memberships and then tanked. It was a big deal. So, I mean, luckily MLG is not bankrupt.
Yeah.
Right. Indeed. So, well, that's great. I'm hoping it's a little cheaper next time, but I'm definitely going to tune in for the next one.
I agree. Well, I think the next one, well, the next arena, which apparently they're looking to do 2 spring arenas from what I hear. Apparently the arena did so well that they're looking to do several a season, per se.
Huh.
Captain Newbing brings up an interesting point in the chat room. What if you could just buy matches? Individual matches?
That would be interesting too, but I still would feel like all of a sudden I found out, okay, Nannywell's playing DRG and I gotta put my coins into my monitor, you know?
Yeah.
As Kyle said, you know,
Yeah,
get those in.
something like that just wouldn't be feasible. You would need essentially some coder on staff as the brackets get updated to quickly log on and change all of that and make it purchasable. And at the end of the day, it would be so much more worth everyone's time to just buy the full freaking package so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean,
I don't think a la carte tournament watching is something anyone really wants. I think if anyone actually saw it in practice, it would just be terrible and immediately dismissed.
Yeah.
Well, that's sweet. MLG changes the flights of 4 arena players to accommodate last-minute GSL Code A scheduling. So this was kind of a big deal. And we have a quote here. It says, MLG has recently been made aware that 4 of the Korean players who are competing in the Winter Arena, namely FXO Leadok, Oz, MVP, and the STC have been scheduled to play in the GSL Code A on the night of Tuesday, February 28th. The GSL schedule has all 4 players slated to play before their flights back from the arena land in Seoul. Unfortunately, the detailed match schedule does not appear to have been announced before the players left Seoul. So they said the players have told us that they were not informed of the actual match schedule before they left Seoul and that they only became aware of this development when they landed in New York City. They immediately informed us and we began trying to work things out. The careers and well-being of all of our players are the utmost importance to us and are the first thing we take into consideration. To ensure that they can have the best possible experience at the arena without affecting their Code A matches, we have booked new flights back to Korea for all 4 players. We have spoken to all the players and their teams to let them know of the new flight schedule. That is awesome, but kind of sucks.
Yeah, I actually saw on Team Liquid, I don't know if you saw the other day, I don't know if you saw it there on their main page, it had a picture of like all of the Korean players, and they were all like laying in the lounge, like asleep, like with those kind of like, I don't know what they're called, those visors that people wear when the lights, too bright when they're trying to sleep, and the message,
sleeping mask.
There you go. And the message was something about, now these players have to go from MLG to GSL, and play their pro matches or whatever. And it was just like, oh my gosh, talk about jet lag. You never get used to the transition. I mean, they're not over here long enough, 4 days max maybe. I know.
I like to imagine that all players are continually moving their right hand in a circular motion. Their left hand is clicking away, and they just get put at computers, and they just go. And they don't know where they are. They have managers for this sort of thing.
They're like wind-up monkeys? You just...
Yeah.
and let them go.
No, in all seriousness, it's a major problem with esports. I feel that there's not a unified calendar at the moment. This is really sad. This is a international sport, and people need to acknowledge each other. It's better. It's better than it was a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awful. But way to go, MLG, for fixing it at such short notice. So, did you guys hear the GSL is coming back to America?
Interesting.
Yeah, I completely agree. That was my same thought when I heard it. I was just like, huh, really? Because there was so much, like, controversy, per se, around that whole situation, and now it's coming back to America, and I guess, what is it, Vegas this year?
Yes. Basically, the GSTL Finals are going to be in Vegas along with IPL 4.
Okay.
So, Mr. Che, the director of GSL, well, he made a post on Team Liquid this past week. Actually, just today, apparently. It says February 29th. So, there's a link to that in the show notes. I'll chuck this up in the chat room right now for everyone watching live. But this is big. I mean, we were all, well, shoot, you weren't, Patrick. But Kyle, you and I were both at BlizzCon this past year when the GSL Finals were there, and it was
awesome.
Yeah. Unlike anything I have ever experienced.
And it was even more awesome because you could take that step, well, just getting to see the Korean caster's face. Like, the two guys were holding their own. They were, trying to be cool about it. But the female caster they had was just so surprised, ecstatic, blown away by the energy in the room. I hope more Korean casters and the Korean audience get to experience how emotional Americans get about esports.
Yeah, I agree. I like to see him, do this more. So I'm all for this. I think it's pretty freaking awesome. And if
I think it's strange that they're doing the team leagues, though. I kind of feel like we're getting the afterthought.
That's because you hate the team league.
I don't. Well, it's a 1v1 game. I don't see why it's team. If they're going to be team, they should 4v4 or something.
All right. Fine.
It's a misleading design.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. You can sit in your tower. Nonetheless, it's very cool, and if anyone's going to it, I envy you. I wish I could afford multiple trips this year. I still need to get my tickets to Columbus. I really need to get on that.
Yes, you do.
But hey, payday is Friday. I probably will have enough money then, I hope.
You better get on it. Come on now. I got a ticket with your name on it.
All right. Calm down, Patrick. I like my mother. GSL Season 1 Contest Round 4 happened. I watched myself some DRG versus Genius. That was a nice match. I recommend it.
Yeah. That was a great match. Wait, no. That's our finals.
Sorry, that's the finals. God, I'm reading the notes too quickly.
The finals have already kind of happened.
I watched Gumio versus DRG.
We've already seen this season a Dongrigu versus Genius. Not to mention they're on the same team. This finals is going to be some mad mind games. And they both won it really bad. I mean, that DRG series, I have not watched it once, but twice. It is that good.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah. Getting to see him going up against Gumio and the Tal Terran taking it. Well, not taking it, but, defending its own.
Yeah. How excited are you that DRG has a shot at the trophy?
I'm ecstatic. And it's my favorite matchup, PvZ. All I can hope is that it's a great matchup. I mean, Genius, he has been floating around the GSL for so long now. I wouldn't be upset if he took it either.
Gotcha. Nonetheless, you should go get a DRG tattoo.
And show it to him when you're at MLG Columbus.
It's like, rip it open, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Sign my boob!
If any of our listeners were at MLG Providence, but prior to them going live and everything, MLG Sundance was up on stage talking with the crowd and everything like that and shooting the shit, and he was taking questions, and somebody was like, will you sign my Protoss tattoo? And he's like, sure. So this guy takes off his shirt and has a huge Protoss tattoo, huge one, and he's had all the pro players sign it, and then he goes to the tattoo place and actually has it tattooed in. So MLG Sundance got to sign it. So that brings me back to Kyle. Let's get you a DRG tattoo, and at MLG Columbus actually. You know, you can get in there. Come on now. You can show your pastiness off.
Yes, as I do every week on twitch.tv/StarCast show.
Oh, Garrett went to hell again.
Yeah, we lost Garrett. It's just one of the... Did we lose me now? It's dead quiet.
Nope, you're there. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
It's fine.
Can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you.
That's good.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Sounds good. Well, while we wait for Garrett to come back,
While we wait for Garrett to come back, let's talk Happy Camper 121 in the chat room. Dude, I know what you mean. I listened to Scott Johnson for 3 years and never looked up his face, and he looks like a dad. Nothing against him; he's a great dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird when you finally get to see people's faces after listening to them.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I've been told fat. Yeah, mostly large is what they see out of me. I guess it's the voice.
Yes, I completely agree. Well, you are like all over the screen right now, so I'm just going to put up something in the meantime. But why don't I go ahead and plug kind of what we have going on with our stream that I was telling you about?
Yeah.
All right. Well, for everybody joining us and that's on the podcast, starting next week, you're actually I created a post on the StarCast forums. Let me see if I can make you not be in every box at once before I really talk.
No. I'm in all boxes.
You are. You got like 2 boxes here, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like that. So let me go ahead and fix this, and then I will go ahead and talk about this. So anyways, on the StarCast website, if you actually go to it and go to the forum section, you're now going to notice that twitch.tv/StarCast show actually is going to have something on it 4 days a week. I don't know if everyone realizes, but Monday nights we have the Monday Madness tournament, which is at 8:00 p.m. So you can find that right here. On Tuesday nights we now have the Campaign Roundtable, which is brought to you guys.
Which is going to be changing its name, I can assure you. Campaign Roundtable is a very formal name, whereas it's more me and Dan Hall hanging out playing video games. Last night we played Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and it was a lot of fun. Okay, very cool. And then Wednesday nights, of course, you have the StarCast show, which is here right now, as you know, everyone's listening to. But then Thursday nights, I'll just go ahead and read off what we have here. The StarCast Coaches Corner is a brand new feature where a low-level player will be coached one-on-one with a Community Masters player. This show will be streamed live on twitch.tv on the StarCast channel so that not only the student can learn from the week's coach, but also other community members can join in. Each coaching session will be between an hour to 2 hours max, depending on the coach's free time and schedule. There will be separate posts for each week's sign up for the coaches and the students. So if you guys are interested, please go to thestarcastshow.com, go to the forum section, and into the tournaments and league section. And believe it or not, we've already had at least 6 coaches sign up, and I would say at least 10 students sign up. So please go ahead and check that out. Low-level players we're referring to as Diamond and lower. Masters is kind of where we're looking at for our coaches and Grandmasters. So definitely check it out, guys. And check out the StarCast channel now weekly, because every night we're going to have something going on this channel. And I think it's definitely going to turn things around and move things actually in the best direction for us, Kyle. I agree. I am very excited for this. I get to say I have a network. How cool is that? And I don't have to be on every show. Oh, okay. And there is Garrett. Garrett, can you hear us? Yes. Okay, I do apologize. I was in the middle of kind of a spiel. Discussing the StarCast Coaching Corner. So now that that is over, we can jump back in. But yeah, we were just talking about it, and pretty much how StarCast is now going to have something on here 4 days a week. Oh, well, sweet. I'm still not even entirely sure what it all is. That's right. You're just the guy in the background, right? You just signed the papers. That's right. All right, this looks good. Get this shit out. I emailed Garrett. I'm like, oh, what do you think? He's like, yeah, let's do it. And then he hears that's the end of that. Yep. Pretty much. I'm bored. Sounds good until I get an email that says, this sucks. Why are you doing it? I don't really rethink anything. Alrighty. Well, should we jump into emails? Yes. Yes, we should. Alrighty.
Incoming transmission.
Patching you through. The Yamato is loaded, and so am I.
welcome to feedback, which is what we're calling it now. Patrick threw me off of what the name change was. But
what was that? Producer Patrick, did you just type during the show without using your mic?
During the show?
I don't know what you're talking about, guys, to be honest. I don't know what you're talking about. Not everybody has this, like, awesome boom set up and, like, this big mic button where you be like, bam, mute, bam, mute.
I have the same mic button you have. It's in Skype, and it's in the middle when you mouse over.
Well, mine's over here, if I want to look this way, and so...
not everyone has 4 freaking computers in their house either, so...
I know, seriously. Well, you know...
Stones.
If I wanted to do that, I'd have to be looking this way at you guys and be doing it at the same time, and I don't think the viewers want to see this.
Well, actually, we can't see you at all, so... Oh, we can, I just can't see you.
Yes, exactly.
So, that happens. God, my camera looks terrible.
It all comes down to your bandwidth, kind sir.
I'm seriously need to call Verizon or change my service.
You said that last week. At any rate, this is emails. This is where we take questions from the chat. Actually, I can comment on something from the chat right now. I thought this episode used to be on Thursdays. It is not on Thursdays anymore. We decided, of course, to not compete with State of the Game, which is now on Tuesdays, but... Oh, Patrick, you just did it again.
I know, I needed to.
Just did it again.
I had to. Anyways, go ahead.
Unfortunately, now we found out we're competing with Live on 3. So, there's no winning. There's just no winning in the world of StarCraft programming on Twitch.tv. So, unless I move back to the West Coast and start recording at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
That just means our chat room right now is full of champions. Straight up champions. And you listening in your car, in your podcast, you, sir, you, ma'am, you, madam, are a champion.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, from
hearts, everyone who chooses us over DJ Wheat. Not that I don't love DJ Wheat.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the StarCast scene is just blowing up right now, especially when it comes to shows that are starting up. And I'm very happy to see that, you know, that amount of content is available for the community, definitely for StarCraft. But, yeah, I mean, even when we moved to Tuesdays, we were kind of like, okay, well, Tuesdays, you know, looks pretty good. You know, there's only one show going on. But, I mean, even if the thing comes down to is we could constantly change the show to best fit the best day that we think it could be. But any day another show could come up or a show could change its day. And then we kind of play this juggling game and we end up possibly losing followers that are used to our schedule. So... unfortunately, that's kind of where we're at with that.
Indeed. So, well, very cool. Anyways, chat room, we were going to take questions from MoleTrap here, and he's not here. So, it's time to ask us questions. What questions do you have for Kyle, for Patrick, or for myself? I know we're not that interesting.
Nick, we're damn interesting, sir. But... you know, we've been on the show for 92 episodes, and you times that by like 3. That is a lot of hours of our voices, frankly.
Yeah, it is. If you've been listening from episode 1, I think you know us pretty damn well.
I mean, let's just say about 276 hours of our voices have been broadcast online.
Yeah, it's scary when I think about how much time I put into this show, and even sadder when I think about how little money I've made.
Garrett, why no red background?
Because I have a much more badass background. I've got Diablo, I've got StarCraft, I've got World of Warcraft, and I have R2-D2 holding a Newcastle because he's ready to party like a champ with the best beer on earth. Why in God's name would I want to defile my room with a red towel? That's right.
All right. Well, Patrick's, you know, sporting a red wall here, a real wall.
A real wall right behind me.
Indeed.
Happy Camper in the chat room says he's been listening since episode 1, and he misses all the spore crawler jokes. Yeah. Spore crawlers. I actually build them a lot now.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to protect against those vultures coming in.
You got to protect. Well, now you got to protect against the mutas. I mean, that's how you counter mutas right now in a ZVZ.
Did you really not catch the old StarCast reference I just made?
No, I got it.
Vultures as a there you go. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Morph wants to know if I can grow my hair out again. No, I'm going to keep it short for a while. I'm kind of liking being able to see. This eye has almost completely...
Oh, we lost Garrett again. He is going to kill someone.
Yes, he's going to murder
Rage
someone.
quit.
So hard.
Well, anyways, I am going to bring this up. Sorry, I was just thinking about it when we were talking there. Wow, I just got like crazy audio feedback. Is that you? It sounds like I'm outside right now.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Yes.
Garrett is still there. Awesome. Anyways, I was going to discuss about...
What an episode.
I don't know if you guys noticed or got the chance to read about it. There were actually quite a few 6 pools and also quite a few 10 pools at MLG against Protoss players. And you probably would have really enjoyed this the most. Look at you playing with the screen region.
Hey, you know, I've got 2 boxes here. I gotta fill them. Gotta fill them.
That's right. Anyways, but yeah, it was really, really cool to see these professional players, though, how they handle the 6 pool and how they handle the 10 pool. Against Protoss, a lot of these Protoss players would go with like a Forge Fast Expand. And how it was handled was that it was interesting. I would have never thought about it. If you were a Protoss player and you did a Forge Fast Expand, you know, you have your Forge out front and you have your Pylon out front. What these players did was they actually went back to their base, the Protoss players, built a Pylon right at their minerals, and then built a cannon. And it finished in time so that the 6 pool and the 10 pool weren't a big issue at all.
Yeah,
and I mean, it was amazing. Believe it or not, Huck actually did it. And Huck was able to, I don't know this trick, someone else can explain it, putting his drones, or constantly clicking one mineral patch, so his drones were like, went from a whole bunch of drones down to look like one drone. It was insane. It was really cool. I don't know if anyone else in the chat channel actually caught it, but it was unbelievable as to, you know, how some of these players were playing this past weekend.
I've seen that before. It's a pretty standard counter that people actually just are going to drop. Now, they're probably going to lose the Forge and that forward Pylon, which sounds like a win to me for the Zerg, but it's blind, which makes it, you know, not a real strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Niku in the chat room asked, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Sir, that depends if you have both the Clue and the Warrant. And
I'll tell you exactly where she is. She is in Sarasota, Florida, and she's stealing my damn bandwidth. And she's a bitch.
I hate that woman. I hate that woman.
I have been out of the esports loop for a while. What would you suggest to me to get back in the loop? That is a great question. I would 100% say buy GOM TV.
Yeah,
like, really?
Probably the most bang for your buck, because you just kind of pay for it, and then you've got like a few months worth of crap to watch.
And you can never watch it live, so you don't have to debate with yourself. I mean, if you're in the United States, you will most likely never be catching it live. So you watch it on your own time.
If you're not in college and you're in the United States, you will most likely not be watching it live. I know a lot of the college crowd will actually stay up because it's college and that's what you do. Who gives a crap about that liberal arts class in the morning?
I am so sad I am not in college during the height of esports right now, because those road trips to an MLG would have been just
epic.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss the college stage, sadly.
Yeah, this seems so much more important than what I wasted my time doing in college, which was, of course, raiding and drinking.
What a waste of time, raiding.
Heavy amounts.
Okay, sir, your rebuttal to me that GOM TV costs money and you spend all your money on Magic cards. I mean, if I could pick up this camera right now, I would walk you to my pile of Dark Ascension cards, and you know what that is if you're playing Magic the Gathering. I love that game. And you know what you got to do? Never buy a booster pack. Always buy singles offline. You're going to save so much freaking money. Never buy a booster pack, ever. Unless it's for a tournament.
So Kyle, are you one of those people that watches Magic the Gathering on Twitch? You see the matches?
No.
Okay.
The decks I make are so intensely themed that I would never win a competition. I prefer things to be theatrical.
I'm not surprised with you, to be honest. Come on.
Yeah, no. I think this has been established at this point.
I want to buy Kyle a pair of those poofy Shakespeare pants. and one of those weird neck things that he always wore because he's so theatrical.
Yep. I agree.
Question for each of you. What is your current favorite alcoholic beverage?
Garrett, I'll let you go first on that one.
Samuel Smith Yorkshire Stingo. It is like $20 a pint. They only make like 1,000 casks of it a year. It is the best freaking beer I have ever had.
Does it taste better because of the exclusiveness of this drink?
It's also aged, I believe, for an X amount of time too, so it's not just it's exclusive. No, it just tastes good because it's made in a tiny little brewery in England. There's something very specific about their water supply, and the makeup of water highly affects the flavor of beer. So there's nothing else that tastes like it, not even close. And it is such a rich, such a full-flavored beer. I freaking love it, but it is so damn expensive that it's pretty much reserved for birthday and other random special occasions. Or when I have $20 that I don't want to spend on MLG and I'd rather put a pint of beer.
I would have to go with Scrumpy's myself. It is a hard cider.
Okay.
Because I'm a wimp when it comes to alcoholic beverages. Like, if I was a stat card, I would have 0 constitution. I'd have no endurance. It's all in magic. I put all my points into spellcasting and charisma.
I think
right.
Mine's gonna be a 2-answer. For beers, I'm gonna have to go with Hoegaarden. It's a white Belgian beer.
I've had Hoegaarden. It's good stuff.
It is. It's definitely, it's not a chugging beer, but it's a very good beer. And for liquor drinks, I'm actually gonna have to go with a margarita on the rocks with Patron tequila.
I'm all about. I like me martinis or just Jameson with ice.
Oh, Jameson on the rocks, man! That puts hair on your chest. Good for you.
I love Jameson. Oh, I'm a big fan.
Chat room asked, AMD or Intel?
Now, there's actual science to this, right? AMD
Yes.
is better at single tasks, and Intel is better at multiple tasks. Am I correct there?
No.
Or is it the other way around?
Pretty much it comes down to price versus performance. It doesn't even come down to single and multiple tasks because all of them are multi-cores now. So, for example, I'm a huge AMD fanboy because I just upgraded my processor yesterday because this podcast itself was maxing out my processor. I was sitting normally during the podcast at about 88% CPU usage, and every time I would open something different, it would spike and then something would lock up. So I went from a 3.4 quad-core Black Edition AMD to a 6-core 3.3 Black Edition. So huge fan of AMD.
Wow.
Got to go for AMD. For cost versus performance, AMD is the way to go. If you have a huge purse and can afford it, throw the money towards the Intel Sandy Bridge. That's my thought on it.
They haven't had good commercials in years, though.
I'm rocking a Intel i7 factory overclocked to 4.4 gigahertz from Doghouse Systems in my new Armor TL, so I'm going to go with Intel.
Yes, their quad-core i7's very good. I mean, it's very good, but it's pricier. But as I said, Intel's an awesome company. They're pretty much on the same playing field, but I don't know if everyone knows this. I'm in the IT industry, and I actually just went to an AMD HP conference down in Philly, and I didn't realize this. Intel owns, 85% of the market industry for processors. AMD is only 15%. AMD is only 15%.
Wow.
And I didn't realize that.
I believe it. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But that's cool. It's an interesting statistic.
Yes, throwing it out there.
Yeah. Type ASCII asked if we saw the use of the factory for a force field by Marine King during the Winter Arena, and I actually had a note to mention that, and then I got disconnected and lost my train of thought. So yes, that was by far the coolest thing I have seen in forever, and solidifies Marine King as my favorite player, and that is why. He is so freaking creative and entertaining, but on top of that, he is good and he gets results. So, God, I love that guy. He's such a freaking good player.
Disco Rax just posted a picture of me wearing a Shakespearean outfit in the
Oh my gosh! All right, it's going up on the stream.
That
Yes.
thing, that I've actually worn that outfit. I have. I mean,
Us
like I
doing
said, I did community theater, and I have played Squire Boy number 3. You know, Prince John, like all these. I've worn such outfits as this fine thing posted here.
I'm definitely saving that image. That's getting saved for future for future shows. Thank you very much.
All right. Live Dog wants to know what you do in IT, Patrick.
I am right now. Actually, I'm in the job market, but I still do. My current position is an IT consultant for a management services company. So I do everything from server management to system administration to wireless radio configuration. So yes, that is what I do. So if you've ever seen my a post on the forums with, you know, where StarCast is produced, and it shows kind of my little home setup.
With your huge setup?
Yes, with your quaint little setup that has computers running through the floor.
I have my server room in the basement and everything like that. So definitely check it out. I think it might be under show discussion. I'm not really sure. Check it out on the forums if you're interested.
All right. Well, fantastic. Guys, I think it's another show in the bag.
I think so. Let's not even go through the normal spiel here. Let's go ahead and give a big old thank you to Captain Noobing, our editor, who is going to have quite the time on his hands with this little episode.
Yes, and hopefully he did such a good job. You guys haven't realized that I have been dropped 5 times, I think, during this episode of the Final Count.
I stopped counting.
Yeah, hopefully we'll make it through the outro without me doing that again. So big thanks to Pat.
And big thanks to MoleTrap for coming on our show
here.
Yeah,
huge thanks to him. Make sure you guys go follow him and whatnot. And I hope he has a good trip. Anyways, if you want more StarCast, head on over to thestarcast.com. You can catch us live Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, we're losing Garrett.
Oh my goodness, we actually are. He's just going to break in half. Like,
go for it, Kyle. Take us away.
Okay. He's going to come back and just kick my ass for doing this without him. If you want more StarCast, you can go to thestarcast.com. Catch StarCast live Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/StarCastShow. Check our amazing StarCraft 2 community at thestarcast.com/forums. We are aware that starcast.com/forums does not work on your mobile device at the moment, and that's a shame. We're working on it. You can also email the show at starcastshow@gmail.com or call the StarCast line at 941-882-0281. That's where we get all our strategies and random emails and questions for our guests. So send your strats, questions, comments, and MP3 attachments that are under 90 seconds to starcastshow@gmail.com. Download the StarCast Android app. Follow StarCast on Twitter at @TheStarCast. Follow Garrett on @GarrettArt. Follow Kyle at Kyle Ferguson. Producer, Patrick Jester, this fine man here. You can follow at Patrick Jester. Our editor, you can follow at Captain Noobing. Also, check out Team CVO's YouTube channel, youtube.com/TeamCVO.
And Kyle, where can we find you when you are not here at the StarCast channel?
Thank you so much. You can find me at Biggest Fan Podcast, where we follow the fad that's driving you mad. This week, John Williams, because we did the Oscars last year. And, of course, John Williams was up for some Oscars, as well as he always is. So that'll be a lot of fun tomorrow. I really want to start streaming that show live, but we'll see. The schedule's kind of, casual. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, Doghouse Systems, for the best gaming computers you will find anywhere. Use the code StarCast and Biscuit to get double your memory on your next rig. Visit doghousesystems.com. I want to thank, as I scroll up here, I want to thank Clark for hanging out in our chat room tonight. I mean, he gave away some awesome stuff and played some games with our listeners here. If you're not hanging out in the live show, you're missing out on some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we have a huge following on iTunes. I don't know if there were any iTunes reviews this week, but huge following on iTunes with the amount of downloads per week. And come on, people, move your way. Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock p.m. Get here. Join us. Come hang out. You can hang out with some cool people in the chat room. Discarax, Mork, Neku, Happy Camper, Captain Noobin. Come hang out with all those guys, and we'd really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we take all the questions live for our guests at the end there. I mean, some of the best questions have been asked live. And of course, follow Team Liquid. You can go to teamliquid.com and see the whole chat where we're getting a lot of these questions. We also do that over on our forums. But recently anyway, if you go to Team Liquid and you search for whoever our guest is, probably the first thing on there is the questions for the guest. So
yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And let me scroll up real quick here and just let everyone know, just as a reminder, coming up next week, we'll have Matt Fink on March 7th. On March 14th, we'll have MLG Clutch. On March 21st, we're going to have CVO's own Mork. And coming back once again from Girls Gaming StarCraft. What is it again? Help me out here, Kyle.
Girls of StarCraft.
StarCraft. Thank you, sir. Will be
the GOSC.
There you go. We'll be Living Pink. So please
awesome.
Join us here once again here in the future.
Excellent. Stay tuned for our community segments. Otherwise, have a wonderful night, everyone. Good luck, have fun, and take care.
Hello StarCast, and welcome to Last Year in StarCast Episode 2. In this episode, I will not be covering Episode 44, Garrett and Mork Take Over. Now some of you might be asking yourselves, why aren't you covering that episode? That is the episode from 1 year ago. Well, the reason is, there was nothing that happened last year. So instead of covering the episode from exactly 1 year ago, what I'll do is I'll answer some of the questions about the segment that I got in my email. The most asked question that I got was, why was my audio quality so bad compared to everybody else's? Well, the answer is, I'm using a Rock Band mic to record this audio. Yep, that's right, the USB mic you use to play really bad songs, that's the mic I'm using. The next set of questions were the generic ones like what league and race I play. So to answer those, I was gold, just recently demoted to silver, probably because I'm not playing enough, and I play Zerg. Hope you guys enjoyed this segment again. If you have any questions or comments, just send them to radolf@live.ca.